So here we are. Some people have asked me about my factory entertainment phaser from Strange New Worlds, and I had to send it off. It had a few malfunctions. There was a few issues with it. The nozzle was loose and ratchety. The trigger, when you pulled it, had intermittent firing going on. A problem with the charging was the real issue on the P1. So I contacted Factory Entertainment. They reviewed the video that I sent them and the few pictures. Actually, what I did was made a YouTube video of the issues and then sent them a link to the video so they were able to see everything that I was doing and what was going on. And then they sent me an email with a return label that I printed out, boxed my phaser back up, just the phaser. I kept all the paperwork and all the display and just sent back the phaser. And then about a week later, once they received the phaser, then they issued me out a new one. So this is like an update to the phaser video. All right, to the Strange New Worlds Factory Entertainment phaser video. So let me try this one out though. I love that. That's my Black Sea Props Strange New Worlds communicator, and it has an electric function to it. I don't know if the camera's getting it, but there's a moray in there, and the lights switch back and forth. So let me do this a little bit more. In the bottom there, if everybody's asking, in the bottom there is Discovery, Strange New Worlds. This is all medical stuff from DS9, Voyager, and Next Gen. All medical hypos and everything. Up here, that'll keep doing that little chirpy thing every once in a while. And then up here is, of course, Enterprise D with my computer and glass and all that good stuff going on up there with my Resican flute. Okay, back to the video at hand. The Strange New Worlds phaser. Let's get it out. Now this is the newest one, the one that they sent me. This is the replacement. And if you notice, let me hold down the little. It does not shake, does not rattle. This emitter is nice. It spins, it finds the right dial, but it doesn't. What you're hearing there is this little loose. This is the wheel in the P1 and whatever it's attached to is, but that's nothing. They all do that. But if you hold it down, kind of, let me see, where is that coming from? Yeah, it's right in the middle there. It's no worries. It's no worries. Nothing to complain about. It's much better than having that rattle around in there. And I've got my dilithium chamber cover. It does turn. It clicks in the spot. It does not remove. It does not do anything. It just tactile touch. Okay, the phaser. We'll have the... Come on, you. All right, the P1 and the P2. P1 has, of course, the button on the bottom. You fire. That's stun. You move the dial up to red. Now that's kill. You can hold the button down and it'll continuously fire. And then, of course, here's overload. You hold it for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it'll go into its overload sequence, which I don't really need to go through. So I can end it by pushing the button, and then I'll dial it back to stun. Now, the P2 has no power, no functions, because everything is held in the P1. But once you engage the P1 into the P2, automatic power, unless you have the safety off. This is your safety. Forward, the safety is on. Back, the safety is off. The phaser is now powered and ready to go. You'll hear that consistent hum going on. That is the communicator. That sound is the phaser. That's just like it's ready. It's in ready mode. It's got that constant hum. And then you pull the trigger and phaser. This is stun. And then if you want to double it, you could go to, you can only do one fire per trigger press on stun, because holding it down does nothing. Now, if you go to kill, which is red, now when you fire, you can do it. You can do it single, or you can hold it in. It'll consistently fire. And then we have overload, which you hold the button, you hold the trigger for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now the trigger, now it's an overload. And if you look in the mirror behind me there, you can see the front emitter. There is a phaser fire coming from that. It lights up. And that can, of course, be stopped by pressing the trigger as well. And let go its whole thing. All right. So I have had this, I got this about 4 days ago, 4 days ago, and I fully charged it, and I've been playing with it ever since. I'm about to charge it again, but as far as I am concerned, it did charge correctly. Let me just plug it in to a charge cord and just test again that it is chargeable. Because the last one would go to a red light, and then it would go to a green light, and then it wouldn't do anything at all. And it went that sequence within like 30 seconds. Red to green to nothing. So now I plug it in, and it turns red. The indicator light. Let me do that a little bit more on. So I plug it in, and the indicator light turns red. Because I've been using it for the last 4 days, so I know it needs a good charge. Whereas before, the defective one would have already went to a green light, and it stays on the green light for about 5 seconds, and then that turns off. And then it's nothing. But this is continuously staying in the red, so it's charging. So I have a good battery. I have a good phaser this time. Thank you, Factory Entertainment. You were very quick with your customer service, and you're very quick with my responses. If anybody's on the fence, if these are still available, if anybody is on the fence, get one. Let me get that down in there. Good. Get one. They are amazing. So yes, Factory Entertainment had to replace my original phaser for a few issues. Like I said, this emitter was all noisy and wobbly, and made all kinds of noise when you shook it. The trigger was an intermittent firing. The sound sounded muffled from this sound, the constant hum, and then when you press the fire, it would sound a little muffly in there. What else? Oh, and the charging issue. The P1 would not charge. But Factory Entertainment stepped up. They sent me another phaser. I sent them the entire phaser, the P1 and the P2. This whole entire thing I sent to them, and they sent me back this entire thing. So it's a brand new one too. So I appreciate you, Factory Entertainment. Great little Strange New Worlds phaser. Can't say anything else about it. Like I said, this is the update to the first unboxing video I had, when the first one I had showed its defectiveness. All right. I'm gonna put this bad boy back in its home. Keep it on stun. Turn off. Put it on safety. Actually turn it off, kind of deal. The stand is a little wonky. Nobody likes the stand, because it just doesn't, either it leans it all forward or all the way back. You got to find the sweet spot. And here's my communicator. Let me shut that so it's not. Yes, Pike to Enterprise. All right, guys, thank you.